this show, we'll address some of the really strange, bizarre emails I get. Number one, I want to say to the cucumber lady, cucumbers are for salads, not for what you're doing with them. And my wife said, don't send me any more of those pictures. To all of you that have different suggestions as to what I should wear during these little talks that we have, I've had, suggestions of tuxedos, togas, and cucumber lady again with a Speedo. I'm not changing anything. When you do your little show, you can wear what you want. I try to keep this thing family oriented, so we'll leave that alone. But when you are writing me, and it's hate mail, and you want to tell me what you think about me, and you want to use some expletives, please don't misspell them. I am not a son of a batch. Neither am I a bastard. As for the other ones, some of them are pretty creative, and when I find a definition for them, I'll address those at some other time. On to another email. We have a person here that wants to ask me about hunting. Now, I am all in favor of hunting, and I like hunting. Personally, I've never been very good at it. To me, it's usually just an excuse to get out in the woods, climb up in a tree, and get drunk. However, I have some relatives that are very good hunters. One was so good, in fact, that whenever the deer herd was coming out in the woods, they'd gather up and they'd vote on who was going to sacrifice herself, because they knew he was getting somebody. And then, sure enough, a deer would come out of the woods with a little white flag tied to his antlers, begging to be shot. It got so that he was bored with hunting in this fashion. And it being such a big part of his life, it really had him down, and he was sitting around, he was watching a movie called Ladyhawke. I'm sure you've seen it. And in this movie, you had a guy riding around with a falcon on his shoulder, and send the falcon out to catch a rabbit. And that got him thinking, falconry. Now that's a way to hunt. That's something different. So he started on this long trek. Now, at the time that falconry started, you would go out and find a falcon's nest, and you would get a little falcon out of there, and you would raise him. And you would bring him up, and he would hunt for you as you trained him to do. And it was all pretty simple and straightforward, you and the bird. Not anymore. Like anything the government gets involved in, it became a lot more complicated and a lot more expensive. To start with, he had to have a year as an apprentice. A year of riding to a different state every weekend to spend time with some guy that knew how to take a bird and have it kill a rabbit so that he could learn and get his license to do this. In addition to that, he had to have a special pen built. A large pen of special materials. I mean, we're not talking just a little dog kennel here. We're talking an Eagle condominium. And it couldn't be built by him himself or him and some friends. It had to be built by a licensed, state-recognized contractor that builds these things. And after all of that, he was able to purchase this bird for $2,000. $2,000 for a bird. But he went through it all, and he lost his wife and his family and his house and his car in the process of working his way through all of these things so that he could be able to hunt with a falcon. Thousands of dollars, thousands of hours, time that he could have been spent with his little children, he spent working with this falcon. He had his own rabbit farm, started a rabbit farm because the falcon preferred to eat live rabbits. So he had to raise rabbits in order to feed them. That was part of why his marriage broke up. His wife kind of got attached to the bunnies, and then he would pitch them into the eagle. And so finally, after all of these years and all of this money that he put into fighting, working, torturing himself and his family so that he could use this eagle. All it came down to was here he was out in the field with the eagle sitting on his arm, his feathers glistening in the sun, his talons sharp as razors. Just a huge, beautiful bird. And it sat there on it. And the time came and he reached and he pulled the hood off of the bird and it flew. The bird flew into the air, took off and soared. And it soared. And it just kept right on going and you never seen a damn thing again. He had to drive over to Jackson, Mississippi over and over and over again so this motherfucker could teach him what to do with the bird. It's all law. It's a law. It's more shit involved with that than it is, you know, probably fucking building a porno shop or something or.
Damn. But it just flew away.
Motherfucker just went.